Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just looking at a flat map with borders and capital cities. Nope, we are going to explore the four massive, dynamic teams that actively run planet Earth. Think of them as the ultimate planetary roster, working together in this perfect, continuous rhythm to sustain, well, everything we know. It's a pretty wild thought experiment, right? What would actually happen if Earth suddenly just lost all its water, or air, or land, or living things? Well, the answer is simple and it's absolute. Life would disappear, instantly. So what makes Earth such a special planet? Why are we the only known rock in this vast, dark universe that's teeming with green forests, deep oceans, and bustling cities? The answer lies in uncovering the secret of our world by looking at four incredible systems, working together every single second. So, here's our playbook for today. We're going to meet Earth's four teams, explore the physical foundations of land and water, dive into the dynamic layers of air and life, see how their ultimate teamwork actually creates life, and finally, we'll wrap up with a fun geography challenge. Section 1. Meet Earth's four teams. Let's introduce the superstar players on our planetary roster. Geographers and Earth scientists basically divide the Earth into these four major domains so we can actually understand how our complex world functions. It's kind of like breaking down a giant, complicated machine into its core parts. Each domain brings something completely unique and absolutely essential to the game. First up, we have the lithosphere. That's the solid, rocky crust of the Earth. Second, the hydrosphere, literally all the water on, under, and above the surface. Third is the atmosphere, our protective blanket of gases. And finally, the biosphere, the realm of all living things. The central theme of this whole explainer is simple. These are the four teams that run planet Earth. Section 2, the land and water teams. Now, let's dive right into the physical foundations of our world. Let's check out the lithosphere and see how it builds our foundation. The lithosphere is the solid, rocky crust of our planet. We're talking all the towering mountains, vast plateaus, sweeping plains, and yep, even the deep ocean floors. Now, the major land masses are divided into 7 massive continents. Asia is the largest, taking up a huge chunk of the globe. But you also have extremes, right? Like Antarctica, a continent way down at the bottom of the world that's just completely covered in thick ice sheets. And there are these really fascinating geographical boundaries too, like the Ural Mountains, which act as a physical divider between Europe and Asia, often referred to together as Eurasia. Moving over to the water team, wow, the sheer scale of the hydrosphere is just breathtaking. When you look at the breakdown of land versus water, it's so easy to see why Earth is famous as the blue planet. Get this, 71% of our planet's surface is covered in water, leaving only 29% for all those massive continents we just talked about. But here's a really crucial detail. While we have 5 massive oceans, with the Pacific being the largest, about 97.5% of all this water is incredibly salty. That means the fresh water we actually rely on for drinking and farming is just a tiny, tiny sliver, mostly locked up securely in ice sheets, glaciers, and deep groundwater. So what happens when the land team and the water team collide? Well, they interact in some pretty fascinating ways, creating these highly strategic geographical features. For example, an isthmus. That's a narrow strip of land that connects 2 larger land masses while separating 2 bodies of water. Think of the Isthmus of Panama. It beautifully connects North and South America, acting like a land bridge, but it completely blocks the Atlantic Ocean from the Pacific. On the flip side of that, a strait is a narrow passage of water connecting 2 larger bodies of water and separating land. A great example is the famous Palk Strait, which divides the land masses of India and Sri Lanka. To truly understand the massive, 3-dimensional scale of the hydrosphere, consider this number, 11,022 meters. That is the depth of the Mariana Trench, the deepest ocean trench on our planet, located out in the Pacific Ocean. It plunges an astonishing 11,022 meters straight down into the Earth's crust. To put that massive scale into perspective, if you took the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, and literally dropped it straight into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still be entirely underwater with over a mile of dark ocean above it. Crazy, right? Section 3, the air and life teams. Next up on our roster are the dynamic air and life teams that blanket our globe. The atmosphere is our invisible, protective blanket of gases. It supplies the air we breathe, actively regulates our global temperature, and crucially shields us from harmful solar radiation. Now, it's actually composed mostly of nitrogen, about 78%, but it features that sweet 21% oxygen that is absolutely critical for our survival and the survival of the whole animal kingdom. That remaining 1%, that contains trace gases like argon and, very importantly, carbon dioxide. Now, even though carbon dioxide is a tiny, tiny fraction, only about 0.04%, it plays an enormous role in the greenhouse effect, trapping the sun's heat and keeping our planet comfortably warm instead of just freezing over. And the atmosphere isn't just one big uniform cloud of gas. The air team is actually stacked in very specific, specialized layers. It starts with the weather-filled troposphere down at the surface. This holds almost all of the atmosphere's water vapor and is where all our storms happen. Right above that is the stratosphere, home to the protective ozone layer that acts like a giant planetary sunscreen, blocking those harsh UV rays. Then we hit the mesosphere, the absolute coldest part of the atmosphere, which is actually where incoming meteors burn up. Higher still is the thermosphere, where temperatures literally skyrocket. This is where you'll find the International Space Station as well as those stunning auroras lighting up the night sky with brilliant greens and purples. And finally, the exosphere, which just gradually fades out into the dark vacuum of space. And finally, we have the biosphere, the undeniable MVP of our planet. The biosphere is this incredibly narrow, delicate zone where all the action happens. It only exists at the magical intersection where the other three domains, land, water, and air, perfectly overlap. You won't find the biosphere miles deep into the solid rock of the Earth's mantle or way out in the distant exosphere, right? It thrives right here at the surface, supporting the entire plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, and all of human life. Section 4. The ultimate teamwork. This brings us to the most important part of our explainer: how the four teams run planet Earth together. I want you to picture a giant Venn diagram where all these domains overlap. This right here is our core message. Lithosphere plus hydrosphere plus atmosphere plus biosphere equals life on Earth. To see this ultimate teamwork in action, just look at real-life ecosystems. Take a bustling forest. The lithosphere provides rich, nutrient-dense soil. The hydrosphere waters the deep roots through rain and groundwater. The atmosphere provides vital carbon dioxide, and the biosphere flourishes as towering trees and diverse wildlife. Or consider an ocean ecosystem. The water team houses these intricate coral reefs built right on the rocky ocean floor of the land team, relying entirely on dissolved oxygen from the air team above to support countless fish. It's this endless, beautiful cycle of ultimate teamwork. Section 5, our human connection. So why does all of this actually matter to you and me? Well, every single thing humans need to survive is a direct result of these four domains interacting. Think about a local farm ecosystem, for example. The food we grow on a farm requires the rich soil of the lithosphere, the biological cycles of the biosphere, and the rain from the atmosphere. The clean water we drink, that comes directly from the rivers and aquifers of the hydrosphere. The pure oxygen we breathe with every single second is generously provided by the atmosphere. Even the shelter we build, the bricks and metals that make up our homes, come from materials harvested directly from the lithosphere. We are completely, entirely intertwined with these four teams. Section 6, Geography Detective Challenge. Now that you know the playbook, it's time for a challenge. I want you to be a geography detective today. Seriously, step outside and look for a local river ecosystem or, even just a rain puddle. Boom, there's your hydrosphere at work. Find a patch of soil, a tiny pebble, or a massive boulder. That's the solid lithosphere. Take a deep breath and feel the wind rustling in the trees. That's the dynamic atmosphere in action. And spot the birds flying by, the insects buzzing, or the grass growing right under your feet. That's the beautiful biosphere. See if you can spot all four teams in action right in your own neighborhood. So to wrap things up, never forget our core equation. Lithosphere plus hydrosphere plus atmosphere plus biosphere equals Earth. None of these incredible systems could sustain life on their own. They absolutely must work together. The secret of our planet is teamwork. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below to tell us which of Earth's four teams fascinates you the most. Keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next one.